Hello everybody, we're the Geeks and the Giants. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host John. And today we talk about Inside Out 2, the latest Pixar animated movie this year. And it's the sequel to the much beloved Inside Out from 9 years ago. So yeah.
What?
Yeah.
When what?
Yeah, the first one came out
I
2015.
I think a new emotion just like came into my head, and it's denial. Uh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not okay with this. I really am not okay with this.
But yeah, like, I would say for the first time in a while, this is the best Pixar movie because I haven't seen anything this good since. What the fuck was their last movie? I don't know. Maybe Coco?
I guess.
Yeah. Something
Oh.
came out 2018. I'm blanking, but Incredibles 2 was good. It was just good for me.
There was Encanto. I don't know if you like that.
Is that? Yeah. We don't talk about Bruno. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't
All
think.
right. All right.
I don't think it was great. I think it was good, but not great. This Inside Out 2 for me is great. Back to form for Pixar, at least. I don't know about you, but like, yeah, it's just been a while since I've been waiting for Disney to do something great in general. So yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of great, yeah, I have to agree. Oh, I'm a little bit late to the party here, but like, holy shit. They kind of hit the same, almost the same, like, heartstrings here and there when it came to like dealing with other emotions. Like in the first one, we got like that elephant thing that like kind of died,
Yeah.
and like that got us. And then we are getting like right here when she's all grown, a little bit more grown up. She's going through puberty, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I could relate to this.
Yeah.
That's what like I really got hooked on when it came to like the first Inside Out, is that it was very relatable, especially to when you're like a kid
Yeah. Definitely.
and you're like starting out, you're figuring things out, and now you're getting a little bit older and you're a young adult, and it's the same fucking thing. It's just like you're trying to figure things out,
Yeah.
and yeah, we get introduced to new emotions, and I'm like, oh lord, this is gonna be a roller coaster.
Yeah. Literally. Like. Yeah, like you, when they were like Riley's hitting puberty, I was like, oh, I remember that stage in my life. Sure, I like can't 100% relate to Riley because she's a woman for one, but like there are things I do
Yeah,
relate
there's
to,
that.
like there are changes in your body. Of course, for us it's different, but like socially speaking, like and again, since I am a new teacher teaching like social stuff, like socially speaking, you do experience things that are new, of like I thought I would have my set of friends forever kind of deal, but like it just changes, and that's just part of it. Like that's just life in general, and it's something that is hard to accept, but it's one of those hard pills that you have to swallow eventually, and you're just like, yeah, the set of friends I've had since I was 13 are not the same since I was 13. Like the quote "Stand by me." Does anyone really have the same set of friends since they were 12? Not really.
Well, it's sad to say I'm still here, buddy. Fuck you. Okay.
It's a rare thing, though. You have to admit it's a rare thing to be like, yeah, you and I are a rare thing, but like throughout life, it's like, yeah, friends change, people change.
But yeah, for sure, for sure. And I do agree with that statement where, like, we're not going to be with the same people we were with maybe 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And, like, just going through life now, especially with this movie, showcasing us, like, how a kid can really move on.
Yeah.
And the experiences that she has
Yeah.
as she's feeling through the movement is just a little bit like hitting close to home. And like I will say, I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with this new character and its anxiety, and I'm just like, I hate you so much, but I got you. You
Yeah.
know, like we have that thing.
Yeah.
I wish it didn't like do its job from time to time, but gotta hate it.
Right? Like I do like the fact that they don't paint anxiety as a villain. Like
No, no.
like she's just doing what she thinks is best for Riley, and like, but at the same time, like, well, I've had anxiety, you have anxiety. Like at the same time, we're just like we want the best for us, but at the same time, we're overthinking it too much, and it just gets too overwhelming. Like I
Yeah.
know I'm skipping ahead, but like towards the end, when she's just like out of control, I'm like, yeah, I know that feeling. God, I hate that fucking feeling.
No, the whole nervous breakdown. I was just like, been there, done that. All
Yeah.
right. And what's even worse is that I was like, oh, that was just like 2 months ago. You know, like you can't really watch this movie and just be like, oh, these are like teens'
Yeah.
problems, you know, or like 13-year-old problems. Nah,
Yeah.
these are the type of emotions that will move on with you as you get older, and you'll still have it till you're like maybe in your 60s. I don't know.
Like when you stop giving a shit. But like you
Yeah.
mentioned, like these things are with you forever, especially that whole belief system, like what forms you as a person. Like I like the
Mm.
fact that it's not, you can't really describe what it is. Like your beliefs make who you are, and how it's pictured here, you're like, yeah, that's exactly how I pictured my beliefs to be like.
It's so it is so creative on how they did this, like especially the, I know we're not really going through it scene per scene, but
Yeah.
like I love how they handled that belief system,
Yeah.
where it's, that is the goal. They lost that thing, and they're trying to get that belief back,
Yeah.
but it's being replaced by this more somewhat corrupted version of the belief.
Yeah.
And it's very black and white. Like the other side's very like, oh, anxiety filled, I'm not good enough, and the one that we're trying to replace it with is, hey, I'm a good person. And you're like, even for me, I was just like, yeah, we get that thing back. I like that thing more.
Yeah.
And then like it's the tough decision that like Joy has to make, where she's like, this is great, but it's not the thing that she needs.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, damn.
Right?
Damn. Yeah, and then they kind of have to just cope with like this fluctuating thing that will be a nervous wreck and be happy and being a good person and just making bad decisions. I'm like,
Yeah. Affecting
she grown up.
Riley for the rest of her life. Which I like. I do like the metaphors, especially the ones that like flew over like kids' heads while I was watching this in the theater. Like when they were like, "You can't bottle up your emotions," and I was like, "Sure."
Yes, I can.
Right? Also, that whole like when they were trapped and they were rescued by the fucking rip-off Dora the Explorer dog and rip-off Cloud Strife, I was like, oh, yeah, sure. I like how Cloud Strife wannabe moves like a PS1 person, like a PS1 graphic. I was like, yeah, you nailed that.
I love it that when they had like a close-up shot of him, you still saw the polygons. I was like, man.
The thing that got me is when he was trying to jump over something and he's just like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, frustrations are still there. Also love that there are a few. I don't know if you have ever. Do you do letterbox? Like some people point out.
My people keep telling me I should.
Some people say that Anger and Pouchy match each other's freak, because never thought I would see a cartoon character get deep throated in any Pixar movie. I was like, what the fuck is that? And then they're best buddies at the end. I was like, oh, good for you.
Look, I do not want to contribute to the internet's disgusting little fantasies, so we're gonna skip ahead.
But the J is in her name. Okay, it's fine. But no, but yeah, again, I do like the fact that Pixar again is like pushing some humor, like above kids' heads. Like, to me, this isn't really a kids' movie per se. This is more like a great story that just so happens to be animated. Like, I don't like people being like, it's animated, so I won't watch it. the first one might be good, but it's also animated, so I'll skip that. But like, they're clearly not getting to the point of like why it's so beloved.
Do I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but like the movie is growing up
Riley.
with us.
Yeah.
Like okay, I can't really say for me because I was already what 15 years old when the first Inside Out came out.
Mm.
But let's say you're a kid, for sure around the time you're able to comprehend cartoons or movies, you're probably like 3 or 4 years old when the first Inside Out came out, and now 9 years later, you're probably 12,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be hitting what Riley hits. So I'm like, that is a not gonna lie, like I love it that this movie is kind of growing up with its own audience.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I do also love the journey Riley has to take. Like, does she stay with her old friends or does she try to make new friends? And anxiety is literally at the controls when she's making those decisions. And at the same time, you're like, yeah, that makes sense for someone at that age to be like, I don't know what to do. I've never faced such a situation where I want to be cool, but at the same time, I don't want to leave my old friends. But at the same time, I think
Right.
they might be holding me down. So,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Like, yeah, and like they're gonna be leaving nonetheless. They're not gonna be in the same school anymore.
Yeah.
That is such a good thing that I don't think a lot of people discuss.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy Inside Out 2 did, where it's like choosing two friend groups.
Yeah.
The perfect ending is like having everybody as friends and like merging together, but you can't really have that from time to time.
Yeah.
You know, that's like the sad truth. Thankfully, she's still able to like connect with her old friends
Yeah.
from time to time, but she has her new ones. And I'm like, in the process of like trying to, you know, like have both. She's like having this kind of like ping pong game with her head because of anxiety. I'm like, that is too real. That is really real. Like, you want to be part of the cool kids, but at the same time, you don't want to
Yeah.
leave your old friends behind. So like, I feel that. You know, I've been in those situations.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And like anxiety, I love the fact that this movie also doesn't paint the new kids as like the bad guys as well. There's not
Nah.
really antagonists here. They're just like people just moving through life, and like Riley's biggest antagonist is life, and that's the whole purpose of this movie, to show you how tough life can get. Like that fucking quote that hits like this the definition of a gut punch is when Joy realizes that, oh, the older you grow up, the less joy you feel, and you're just like, what the fuck? Why? Fuck! She speaks truth, but Jesus Christ, you didn't have to tell me this again, live.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. But that's such a great line, and like I think for any like person growing up who did grow up with Inside Out 1 and now is at the right age for Inside Out 2, I think that quote is going to stick with them forever. Because for sure they'll be like, at first be like, what does that mean? I'll be happy forever. But unfortunately, when you move through life, things just change, and you're just like, yes, I truly get that. So that's why when you do get those moments of joy, you just cherish it a bit more than you did as compared to when you were like a teen. Just like you're like, I really feel like I'm a teenager again, or like I'm a kid again, something like that.
Yeah. And I do like the new characters, by the way, because they embodied majority of my teen life.
Yeah.
Where there's like the God, I forgot what were the names. So there's jealousy or envy,
Envy.
and what was a big pink guy?
Embarrassment.
Embarrassment, and the French one. I'm like,
Ennui?
yeah, I
Yeah.
feel ennui. Yeah, and I was like, I feel all of that when I was in my teens, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. I'm so surprised with Pixar with how and the writers and how
Yeah.
like exact how they got like all of these characters to be like, yeah, these fuckers were in my head the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
I was going through my teen years, and I'm like, I wish y'all cooperated a little bit better.
All right. I do love that nostalgia. It's just this old person being like, remember 10 years ago? And they're like, it's too early for 10 years ago, old woman. Can you go back? And she's like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, I picture nostalgia like that for me too. And like, you and
Yeah.
I are the right age for that, where we're like, yeah, 10 years ago was much different. Holy fuck.
Yeah, when I think you got a really bad. I think nostalgia runs your brain, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you keep bringing back the past, and I'm just like, remember this? It was 9 years ago. I'm like,
My bad. Oh well. Can you do? Um,
okay.
I like. I don't know if I'm gonna. I probably won't dock points for that, but like, I wish the ending was a bit like, I don't know, bittersweet, where it's like, oh, she didn't make the team, and that just, again, that's just life.
I don't know if maybe they didn't give us an answer. They really didn't give us an answer.
That's true.
Like yeah, it was like an open ended, somewhat.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I just think again, for the first time in a while, Pixar has had such a hit. Like I think the last one I watched was fucking Buzz Lightyear, the standalone movie, and that was lame as shit. So I was like, ah, damn. Uh,
I remember I watched it. I don't remember anything. We did a review on it, didn't we?
no, what you talking about? I think it was too late for us to do anything by the time it came out on Disney Plus. But there's another one, Elemental. I never knew if that was good or not. I hear it's all good.
People say it was really good. People said it was really good, so I was like,
All right.
maybe we should get on it in the future.
Yeah, definitely. But for now, what would you rate Inside Out 2?
I would say it wasn't as good as the first one.
Hmm.
The first one really had me like that was the one where it gut punched me, and I'm just like, okay, I'm feeling everything,
Yeah.
and like me missing as a child, like me missing what it's like to be a child,
Yeah.
kind of deal. And I'm just like, okay, but I would still give it like a high score. Like I'll give it like a solid 8 out of 10. It's still a really good movie. It's an amazing learning curve for a lot of kids, and I love it that it grew up with those kids who ever watched Inside Out for the first time.
Yeah.
I like for sure these kids are hitting the same age, are going to be kind of tackling the same kind of situations, and this movie is actually giving a very solid and healthy message on like being yourself. Don't let anxiety kind of take over too much.
Yeah.
Have it there to protect you, but like you can't let it ruin your life, kind of deal. And I like that message. And whether the ending be positive or bittersweet, I'm not. I do agree with you. I feel like I could have done a little bit more if it was a little more bittersweet. It does look like it was like, oh, I got into the team,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, it's still a good movie. I feel like any parent who has a kid and is like trying to teach them about life, this is one of the great movies that you can like just sit them down and be like, this is what you're going to be experiencing
Yeah.
for the next years of your life.
All right. Um, I'll give this. Yeah, I'll give this an 8 as well. I do like the story. I really think Pixar has upped their game in terms of animation, and I like how they're once again going into the flow of things of being a great animated studio. Like, and I hope they keep that trend. I'm not sure what else is coming out for them, but like, I hope they just keep making great material. And like, yeah, I do agree that when kids grow up with these movies, hopefully, I'm curious to see if there's a trilogy. Like, I don't know if there's a trilogy. Where do we meet Riley in life? Like, is she
For
like,
sure in college. I think in college.
yeah, and that'd be
Like,
so complicated to be like, explain this, and they'd be like, I don't know how to explain that.
well, how many more emotions are there gonna be?
Yeah, like, are we changing tones? Are we changing like, is she gonna experience things that are just a part of life, whether that be great or just heartbreaking, you know, such as like maybe death, like as if Pixar hasn't dealt with that before. But yeah, good movie. Like, again, I'm just glad that Pixar is. Hopefully, this is the start of like better things. I saw like their upcoming slate of like stuff that are coming out, like their Toy Story 5. For some reason, I'm like, really? Why? I don't want any
Let it
more.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was also Incredibles 3. I wouldn't mind that. A third Incredibles? Why not? Oh, you froze.
Mm.
Oh.
Hello?
Oh, yes. I think they're rebooting some of their movies. Like, they're rebooting Finding Nemo for some reason. I'm like, why? It's a fucking fish. Why do you need to tell us again?
Why?
I don't know. I think they're just desperate. Hopefully they don't push through those plans because those are, like, bluntly putting it, that's fucking stupid to reboot something like Finding Nemo or The Incredibles even. Where I'm like, why can't you just continue to sort of, I don't know, make original content? You know, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, any last thoughts on Inside Out 2 before we wrap this up?
No, I think we've said everything that we need to say. So.
Yeah. But yeah, that's been our video for Inside Out 2. What's your favorite Pixar movie? Mine is forever the first Toy Story, because that's a classic in my head. And like Toy Story 3 is a close second. I know they're the same franchise, but they're pretty good. How about you? What's your favorite Pixar one?
That's a toughie.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I would say Finding Nemo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like that's the one that kind of hits me the hardest, and like I enjoy watching every time. I'm really like fighting. It's either Monsters Inc. or Finding Nemo. Either one, you know.
Okay. But yeah, that's been our video for Inside Out 2. What do you guys think? Please comment below. If you like our content, please like our video, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see our best and funniest moments and our reactions to trailers, and our Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, I'm Jodas Voices on TikTok and EndsWolf on Letterboxd. Where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me at JomGM_ on Instagram. It is my art account.
And until the next one, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.